Everyone on the base knew her name, but no one dared to say it aloud, because when Admiral Lillian Hart stepped into a room, even the air seemed to stand at attention. But that morning, in the blinding brightness of the naval courtyard, something unthinkable happened. A trembling cadet spilled his coffee right across her immaculate white uniform, and then, before realizing who she was, he snapped at her. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." The courtyard froze. The sun gleamed off the Admiral's medals as the dark stain spread across her chest. For a moment, no one breathed. The young man, barely 19, his face still marked by teenage panic, stammered, "Watch where you're going." He tried to brush the spill off her sleeve. That's when realization struck. His hands fell limp. His eyes went wide. The courtyard's whispers rose like a low tide. He just yelled at Admiral Hart. She looked at him, not with fury, but with a silence that felt colder than command. Her gaze lingered, calm and sharp as glass. "What's your name, Cadet?" "Riley, ma'am." "Cadet Riley. Report to my office." Now, the murmurs followed him all the way across the yard. No one had ever been called into Admiral Hart's office and walked out unshaken. Inside, sunlight poured through tall windows, catching dust motes that danced above her desk. Riley stood stiff, his throat dry, expecting to be dismissed, or worse. But instead she sat down, folded her hands, and said quietly, "Why are you here, Cadet Riley?" "Not in my office. I mean in the Navy." He blinked. "To serve, ma'am. My father was a commander," she interrupted. "I read your file. He was killed during the Gulf operations. Wasn't he?" Riley nodded, unsure whether to speak. His heart pounded in his chest. Admiral Hart leaned forward. "And you think you honor him by rushing, by shouting at an officer?" He looked down. "It was an accident. I didn't mean," her tone softened. "I know you didn't, but accidents reveal character." She paused, eyes distant now, as though she was somewhere else entirely. "Do you know what they used to call me, Cadet? Before I was an admiral." He hesitated. "No, ma'am. The Ice Widow." Her voice cracked slightly. "I lost my husband in service too. And after that, I buried every emotion under iron discipline. Fear, grief, empathy, all locked away. That's what command does if you let it." Riley's eyes lifted. The monster of the base, the admiral everyone feared, suddenly looked human. A knock sounded at the door. An aide stepped in, saluting. "Ma'am, the inspection board is waiting." She stood, straightening her uniform, still marked with the faint coffee stain. "Let them wait," she said. Then turning to Riley, "You'll join me." The aide blinked. "Ma'am, he's a cadet." "I'm aware," she replied coolly. "He'll stand beside me." When they entered the hall, whispers rippled through the rows of officers. Riley's face burned, but the admiral's voice carried clear and steady as she addressed the assembly. "Command is not about fear," she said, her words echoing through the sunlight-flooded chamber. "It's about understanding, even when mistakes are made." Especially then, every eye followed her as she lifted her cup, the same one Riley had dropped earlier, now refilled. "To serve," she said softly, "means to remember we are all still human." When the inspection ended, Riley thought it was over, but as he saluted to leave, she stopped him. "Cadet Riley," she said, "you reminded me today that respect isn't built by rank, it's earned by grace. Don't forget that." He never did, and neither did anyone who witnessed that day, because in one careless moment, a cup of spilled coffee, and a spark of honesty, the most feared admiral on the base became the most respected. Because kindness doesn't vanish under command. It hides behind the uniform, waiting for a reason to return. And that morning, in the bright courtyard, it finally did. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. I love hearing your stories of courage, kindness, and second chances.